A penalty on an underdog European team just handed San Diego Dynasty their 7th series championship. But this wasn't just any underdog. This was Stockholm Joy Division, a team of Swedes that had been steadily threatening to take over the league. The call was so controversial and the fallout so dramatic, they would eventually lead the team to quit the league entirely. This wasn't just a loss, it was the beginning of the end of an entire era of professional paintball. In the mid-2000s, the NPPL was where worlds collided. On one side, San Diego Dynasty, the undisputed reigning champs. Aggressive, fearless, and with a knack for working the gray parts of the rulebook. Their roster was a list of legends in their prime. On the other side, Stockholm Joy Division, a tight-knit Swedish squad that US fans already knew well by 2006. But this wasn't just another European team coming over to test the waters. In 2003, when Joy landed in the NPPL, the league had reinvented itself from its 10-man roots into the Super 7. It was the 7-man alternative to the PSP's 5-man X-Ball format. And for Joy, the NPPL's prestige made those long flights worth it. After 3 seasons in the NPPL, Joy had built a legitimate fan base and a reputation for having great gun skills, discipline, and teamwork. Joy were calculated by default but explosive when a window opened. And going into the last stretch of 2006, they had more than one reason to push hard. If Joy could get their first win, they would become the first European team to win an NPPL tournament. By the time Joy rolled into San Diego for the second to last stop, they were clinging to 6th place overall. Their only way to the title was a miracle run in those final 2 events, technically doable, but hanging by a thread. And finally, in San Diego at the 4th stop of the year, a breakthrough.
Oliver came in the open, he put a couple of paintballs on him and got it.
To win that was huge. I don't think people understand how big that was for us. That feeling, wow. Just wow. That's why we do this.
In 2006, Joy had proved they belonged. The one pattern that hurt them were the big game-changing moves of the Americans that could blow open games. So they weren't going to try to become Dynasty, they were going to focus on countering them. Better off the break shooting, lane control, and patience. With players like Max Lindquist, known for his athleticism and highlight moves. Joy had become a team you had to game plan for. Dynasty were still the top team, but now they were looking over their shoulder. Joy were challenging an assumption baked into pro paintball that the biggest stages and the biggest moments belonged to American teams. If you're into JT masks like I am, then PaintballRetro.com is basically heaven. Think of it like this: if JT is the brand, Paintball Retro is the vault. We're talking loads of ProFlex colors and parts, over 100 different straps, and exclusive Flex 8 colors you literally can't get anywhere else. And it's not just a faceless retailer, it's John Dresser's personal stash turned into a shop. He's the guy who helped shape paintball when he ran PB Nation, and now he's leading the JT Renaissance. Unless he's working the Paintball Retro booth at an NXL tournament, odds are your order has already shipped. For all your JT mask needs, visit paintballretro.com. Heading into the final event in Orange County, Excessive sat at 77 points, Dynasty at 74, and Joy at 66. To win the series, they needed a perfect storm. Their own victory, Excessive to stumble, and Dynasty to stay out of the finals. But Joy weren't the only ones with something on the line in Orange County. All season, the series title had been a 2-horse race between Dynasty and Excessive, a West Coast grudge match that had been burning since 2004. Dynasty had ruled paintball since turning pro in 2001. Excessive built themselves as a super team. This is the closest they'd ever come to stealing the title. For them, Orange County wasn't just another stop. It was the finish line in a 3-year chase. Every team shows up at the last tournament wanting the trophy, but Joy came to Orange County with 2 trophies in mind: the event win and the less likely scenario, the NPPL season title. Joy Division started 2006 with one mission: win an NPPL tournament. By September, they had finally cashed in on 2 seasons of knocking at the door. In Europe, Joy dominated, winning 4 of 5 tournaments. Stateside, the NPPL story was about momentum. 15th, 6th, 3rd, 1st. For Dynasty, the math looked much better. They were only 3 points behind Excessive with a real shot at the season title. By Sunday afternoon, with Dynasty making the finals and Excessive taking 3rd, Joy's chances at the title had disappeared. A bright spot though, Joy had again made it into the finals. They could win 2 events in a row and play season spoiler to their arch nemesis, where their title race with Excessive was still on the line. If Dynasty lost, Excessive would win the series title. If Dynasty won, they would take the series title along with the Orange County win. That meant the final wasn't just Joy versus Dynasty. It was Dynasty fighting to slam the door on Excessive, and Joy fighting for their 2nd win in the US. The stakes were different, but the pressure was the same. For Joy, the title dream was over. All that was left was winning the last tournament of the year, and the satisfaction of knocking off the world's most dominant team. Nobody saw it coming, but the next few seconds would be replayed and argued over for years. The finals were best out of 3. The first game, Dynasty takes easy. The second, Joy get an overshooting penalty, but are still able to get the win. Now tied 1-1, Game 3 is winner take all for glory in Orange County. This was the team they'd been chasing for 3 years. Off the break, bodies trade and the field shrinks. It settles into a 2-on-2. Alex Fraige deep in the Snake on Joy Division side, and Brian Cole in the center spike for Dynasty. Carl Scandal in the Snake corner, and Saban Samuelson in the back center for Joy. Joy cross up in defense and the field goes quiet. Then Scandal sees his opening. He explodes out of the back corner and goes straight for Fraige. From the center, Cole sees him, shoots but misses. Scandal's shots connect with Fraige and he dives forward. Cole reacts instantly, vaulting into the Snake to finish off Scandal. Both armbands come off. With Cole, Fraige, and Scandal shot, that leaves Saban the last man standing. He runs out of back center and splits the gap between Fraige and Scandal and collides with Cole. They both exchange fire. As Saban tries to head for the flag station, Fraige grabs him trying to slow him down, until refs overtake him and lead him away. Even in pro paintball, this was all shocking. Every Joy player knew how rare it was to have Dynasty on the ropes. If we ignore the chaos and penalties for a second and just count the players with hits, that should leave Saban the last player alive. Scandal shot Fraige, Scandal and Cole traded. That's how the crowd saw it, but the refs saw another.
Hey, bullshit! Go roll Bullshit!
Was Scandal's move from the corner actually clean? Or did he get hit before making it to Fraige? And wait, wasn't Cole shot by Scandal? Why was he shooting? The head ref comes in with the ruling.
The player, I don't care who it was, I don't know who it was, I don't even want to know, was running through, was shot before he shot Fraige. Okay. So the ref went in, removed the armband. Okay. Your player turned and shot up Dynasty players.
No, that's the second thing.
No. By doing that, you are shooting after acknowledging your elimination. That is a 3-for-1. Okay. 3-for-1. There weren't enough bodies on the field to assess the penalty, therefore giving the pole in the hang to Dynasty.
Thank you.
Yeah, boys.
Hope you guys feel good again. We do, because that was absolute bullshit what you 2 guys did on the fucking test. Good game. Sorry I had to go like that, but that was bullshit.
Wait, what? So he's saying Scandal was shot before making it to Fraige, the ref pulled his armband, and then he lit up a Dynasty player? A 3-for-1 means 3 players from Joy should be eliminated. And with fewer players than that left on the field, Dynasty were automatically awarded the win. But did Cole actually shoot Scandal? Sure, the surviving footage is a little bit grainy and inconclusive, but if we look at the layout for the tournament, you can see from that center position, there's definitely enough space to get a shot in on Scandal. But from all of the different footage, I don't think he got shot before making it to Fraige. Sure, it's possible, but it sure doesn't look like it. A lot of people back in the day also thought it was really sketchy that he took that dive afterwards. I mean, it really looks like he could possibly be trying to wipe off a hit. Really, I just think that dive makes sense. I mean, with Cole being in the center, it's really kind of his only option. So maybe he was hit, maybe he wasn't. Perez also said that the ref pulled Scandal's armband and then he shot up a Dynasty player. But if we actually watch back all 5 camera angles, it's a little bit hard to tell if he pulled it or not. You know, maybe he did right here or maybe he didn't. But then there's these pictures of Scandal clearly standing with his armband on. Scandal for sure puts his head on his hand, signaling he's eliminated, but he never shoots any player afterwards because, you know, he just shot everybody. The penalty was for shooting after acknowledging your elimination, which again, didn't happen. Other than the final call, there's a few other glaring things that stand out. Not being able to see Scandal hit until his exchange with Cole, Cole shooting his gun after he was eliminated, Cole arguing with refs, and Fraige grabbing at Scandal. Those are all penalties, and because that supposed hit on Scandal came before any of those, none of them were even considered. On the field, emotions spike. Joy stunned in disbelief as Dynasty celebrates. Matty calls it razor thin. Losoya says he'd rather see it settled in one-on-ones. For Joy, it wasn't just a loss. It was a kick in the teeth, and the start of a year-long grudge match with the rulebook. The scoreboard said loss, everything else said robbery. And while the series title had already slipped out of their reach earlier in the weekend, the Orange County tournament was right there. And for excessive watching from the pits, it was the moment their championship dream died. For Dynasty, it was the call that handed them both the Orange County trophy and the series. One call had just rewritten the ending for 3 teams. The NPPL did eventually make a statement about the match. They said that Stockholm Joy Division's suspension would be lifted. They at one point were actually going to give Saban a suspension for overshooting. That's great they made the statement and addressed a few of the issues, but they didn't mention anything about Scandal getting shot. In the offseason, Joy leadership met with the NPPL about Orange County. NPPL President Sean Walker acknowledged the mess and promised better judging in 2007. More training, more consistency, and fewer what the hell just happened moments. Joy agreed reluctantly to keep playing, not because they were over it, but because walking away without one more honest swing at the series felt worse. Then the season started, Huntington Beach, March 2007. Familiar patterns showed up fast. 1-for-1s, 3-for-1s. Was it about skill or something else? Individually, you could argue any of these. Together, they've built a pattern in Joy's mind. Either the reffing wasn't up to the speed of the pro game, or something about Joy's new edge in their passports put them on the wrong side of bang-bang calls.
They try to fight every little gray area bit of the rule, but black and white. Here's the rule book. Here's what we saw. This is what the call is.
And through it all, they were still competitive. A group of friends with years of shared reps, grinding out for one thing they didn't have, the NPPL series title. Late in 2007, while still one of the most popular and competitive teams in the league, Joy announced they were going to be leaving the NPPL. If they couldn't trust the environment, or if games could swing on interpretations they didn't agree with, then the series title wouldn't mean what it was supposed to mean. Did Joy overreact? It depends on whether you trust the rules, or maybe who's enforcing the rules. What's clear though is modern leagues like the NXL that train their referees and treat cameras like tools can trace some of that logic back to moments like this. And Joy didn't quit competing, they went back to Europe and kept winning, choosing to chase trophies where they felt that outcome lived more in their hands than in a post-game conversation. Whether you think the refs got it right or got it wrong, one chaotic sequence rewrote the ending for 3 teams. In hindsight, Joy's exit was the first crack in the dam. 2 years later, the NPPL itself would collapse under financial strain and mismanagement. Walking away might have costed Joy a championship, but it also meant they dodged the league's final implosion. If you like these videos, becoming a channel member is the best way to get closer to the action and support the channel directly. You get access to exclusive member-only videos like the Debrief series. You'll get a permanent 20% discount on all merch at the Paintball Ruined My Life shop, and access to other special member discounts. And all the main videos you get early access to watch before the public. You can hang out every month during the exclusive members live stream. Plus, for your support, you'll be entered into member-only giveaways. Finally, you get access to the members-only Discord, where you can keep up with the community and myself on a daily basis. Joining the members group is the main way I can keep pushing the limits of the channel. To join the inner circle, just follow the link in the description, use that QR code on the screen, or just type in that URL.